Imagine a world where some of the most powerful nations on Earth suddenly find themselves struggling to maintain their economy, infrastructure, and daily functioning. What if I told you that India is the unseen force behind the success of many countries? From providing raw materials to fueling entire industries, India's influence stretches far beyond its borders. If India were to suddenly stop supporting these countries, the consequences would be severe. Let's explore 8 surprising countries that would face massive struggles without India's contributions. But wait, before we dive fully into this, take 2 seconds and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our future amazing content. And hit the like button. Shocking. 8 nations that will collapse without India. 1. Bangladesh, the lifeline of a growing economy. India and Bangladesh share a rich historical bond, a connection that's not just confined to the past, but deeply intertwined with their present-day prosperity. For Bangladesh, India is not just a neighboring giant, but the cornerstone of its rapidly growing economy. The economic relationship between these 2 countries is crucial for Bangladesh's survival and growth. At the heart of this partnership lies Bangladesh's textile industry, a sector that serves as the lifeblood of its economy. India supplies essential raw materials, cotton, chemicals, and dyes, that power the country's garment factories. These factories churn out millions of garments every year, making Bangladesh the second largest exporter of textiles in the world. Without these supplies from India, the production lines would grind to a halt. This would not just be a loss of profit, but a catastrophic blow to the livelihoods of millions of workers, mainly women, who rely on the textile industry for employment. But the support from India doesn't stop at textiles. India plays a crucial role in keeping the lights on in Bangladesh. The country imports a significant portion of its electricity from India, without which the national power grid would crumble. Imagine the nightmare of blackouts across urban and rural areas alike. Factories shutting down, homes plunged into darkness, hospitals left without power. A small disruption in this vital supply could halt daily life, cause massive economic losses, and plunge Bangladesh into a gridlock of despair. Moreover, India plays a role in Bangladesh's healthcare system, providing essential medical supplies, technical assistance, and even scholarships to medical students. It's in these less visible sectors where India's impact is felt most profoundly, supporting the education and well-being of an entire nation. Without India, Bangladesh would find it incredibly difficult to maintain its growth trajectory, revealing just how interdependent their futures really are. 2. United Kingdom, the NHS and beyond. The relationship between India and the UK is one of deep-rooted history, but its modern-day significance is much more than just a shared past. India has become indispensable to the UK in ways that few truly understand. The UK's National Health Service, NHS, which provides free healthcare to millions, relies heavily on Indian professionals, doctors, nurses, and medical staff, who form the backbone of this vital public service. Every day, thousands of Indian healthcare professionals work tirelessly across the UK. From hospitals in bustling cities like London and Manchester to more rural clinics, their knowledge, expertise, and compassion are not just crucial, they are life-saving. Without them, the NHS would face a dire shortage of staff, leading to longer waiting times for appointments, surgeries, and treatments. The quality of care would undoubtedly suffer, and thousands of patients could be left waiting for essential health care. Imagine a scenario where the very lifeblood of the NHS, the skilled professionals, is suddenly gone. The impact would be nothing short of catastrophic. This relationship extends far beyond healthcare. India's contributions to the UK's tech and finance industries are immeasurable. Many of the UK's most prominent tech firms, financial institutions, and multinational corporations are led by Indian-origin professionals. These professionals are not just employees, they are visionaries and leaders, driving innovation and economic growth. India also sends thousands of students to the UK's prestigious universities, contributing billions to the economy. Without the influx of international students from India, the UK's education sector would lose a significant source of revenue, forcing universities to cut costs and even limit courses. Moreover, Indian entrepreneurs in the UK continue to create jobs, drive innovation, and inject fresh ideas into an already dynamic economy. If India were to pull back from its deep involvement in the UK's sectors, the country would face severe economic repercussions, from stalled technological advances to a crippled healthcare system. The truth is, the UK's prosperity in the modern world is partially built on the contributions of India, and any disruption would shake its very foundations. 3. United Arab Emirates, UAE, the foundation of growth. The UAE's transformation into one of the most advanced and dynamic economies in the world owes much of its success to the immense contributions of India. India's relationship with the UAE is multifaceted, spanning trade, labor, and culture. At the heart of this partnership is the vast Indian expatriate community, which constitutes a significant portion of the UAE's workforce. From the tallest skyscrapers in Dubai to the hospitals and schools, Indian nationals play a pivotal role in shaping the country's infrastructure and daily functioning. In sectors like construction, healthcare, real estate, and hospitality, Indian workers are the backbone of the UAE's development. Imagine a scenario where the flow of skilled labor from India suddenly stops. The UAE's ambitious projects, like the construction of new skyscrapers, luxury hotels, and state-of-the-art medical centers, would grind to a halt. Without these skilled Indian workers, construction delays would spiral, and the country's rapid development would come to a standstill. The cost of labor would surge, leading to a rise in prices and a decrease in the overall quality of development. But it's not just about the labor force. Indian tourists make up a significant part of the UAE's tourism revenue, particularly in Dubai. The shopping malls, luxury hotels, and fine dining establishments in Dubai see millions of Indian visitors each year. This vibrant flow of tourism is not just important. It's essential to the UAE's economy. Without Indian tourists, many businesses in the tourism sector would struggle to stay afloat, and the UAE's tourism revenues would plummet. India's influence on UAE culture is also undeniable. The country's festivals, cuisine, music, and art have deeply intertwined with the UAE's lifestyle. You can see the Indian influence in the grand Diwali celebrations, in the tantalizing array of Indian food, and in the booming Bollywood scene that draws audiences across the UAE. This cultural exchange is not just enriching. It's a crucial part of the UAE's identity. 4. Saudi Arabia, the silent hand behind Vision 2030. Saudi Arabia's ambitious Vision 2030 is one of the most talked about projects in the global economic landscape, yet few truly understand the silent engine that powers its grand plans, India. While the world focuses on the kingdom's shiny skyscrapers, tourism initiatives, and massive infrastructure projects, it's Indian workers who have been behind much of the physical labor, ensuring these dreams become a reality. From building luxury hotels in Riyadh to constructing high-speed rail networks and sprawling cities, India has provided a workforce that Saudi Arabia heavily depends on. Indian workers don't just play a role in construction. They are integral to many of Saudi Arabia's industrial sectors, including healthcare, hospitality, and retail. The kingdom is relying on a steady flow of skilled labor to meet its Vision 2030 goals, and Indian laborers are helping to drive forward the transformation of Saudi Arabia's non-oil industries. Without the steady influx of Indian workers, Saudi Arabia would face delays in many of its grand development plans, which would directly affect its ability to diversify its economy away from oil. The significance of this partnership goes beyond the physical. Saudi Arabia also depends on India's growing tech capabilities to fuel its digital transformation. Indian tech firms are involved in numerous projects, from cybersecurity to AI research, helping the country establish its digital economy. If India were to pull back or halt these collaborations, the whole Vision 2030 plan could lose its momentum, setting back the kingdom's economic ambitions by decades. Moreover, India's role in the energy sector is just as crucial. Saudi Arabia is one of the world's largest oil producers, and India is a major importer of this oil. The energy trade between the two nations is vital to the economic balance in the Gulf region. If India were to suddenly reduce or cut off its oil imports, Saudi Arabia would lose billions in revenue, significantly affecting its ability to fund projects like Vision 2030. This partnership isn't just about labor. It's about sustaining a financial ecosystem that Saudi Arabia has carefully cultivated. The disruption of this flow of energy would be a blow to the kingdom's finances and its long-term vision. 5. United States, tech, talent, and trade. India has become the silent powerhouse of the U.S. tech sector, and without it, Silicon Valley and the entire U.S. tech industry would grind to a halt. The innovation and breakthroughs that we associate with tech giants like Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Facebook are largely driven by a diverse and highly skilled workforce, many of whom are of Indian origin. If Indian professionals, engineers, data scientists, and programmers suddenly stopped contributing their expertise, the talent gap would be so severe that it could paralyze major U.S. tech firms. In Silicon Valley, where competition is fierce and the demand for top-tier talent is ever-growing, India's contribution is invaluable. Indian tech professionals hold leadership roles at the highest levels, and many of the groundbreaking innovations that have shaped the digital era, like cloud computing, AI advancements, and revolutionary apps, have been influenced or led by Indian minds. Without this talent, U.S. companies would struggle to maintain their edge in global markets, and the cost of hiring skilled labor would skyrocket. Essentially, India is a cornerstone of the U.S. tech ecosystem, without which the entire industry could falter, slowing innovation and leaving the door open for international competitors to take over. But India's contribution to the U.S. economy doesn't stop with tech. Indian students make up one of the largest international groups in U.S. universities, pouring billions into the educational system. From tuition fees to housing and living expenses, Indian students are crucial to maintaining the financial health of many American institutions. The cultural impact is just as profound. Indian American entrepreneurs are continuously launching startups, creating jobs, and expanding the country's economic footprint. The ripple effect of their businesses extends across the U.S., stimulating local economies and driving job creation. Without this flow of students and entrepreneurs, the U.S. would lose not just economic capital, but intellectual capital as well. What's often overlooked, however, is how much India's trade relationship with the U.S. is an economic lifeline. India is a major trading partner, and the U.S. exports high-value products such as aircraft, machinery, and medical devices to India. On the flip side, India's exports, ranging from software and pharmaceuticals to textiles and agricultural products, are essential to maintaining the U.S. trade balance. A breakdown in this trade partnership would have massive repercussions, increasing costs and reducing the availability of products. Oh, and by the way, I know you're liking this video already. Go ahead right now and show me some love by hitting the like button. Done? Alright. Let's continue. 6. Canada. A lifeline to innovation and growth. Canada, with its booming tech sector and robust multicultural environment, owes a great deal of its recent success to India. In Canada, Indian origin professionals are the architects of the country's digital future. Whether it's software engineers in Toronto, data scientists in Vancouver, or AI researchers in Montreal, India's tech talent is the glue that holds Canada's rapidly expanding its sector together. Indian professionals fill critical gaps in Canada's high-demand industries, and without their expertise, Canada's progress would be stifled. The contributions of Indian immigrants go far beyond tech. Indian entrepreneurs are driving some of the most exciting new ventures in Canada's fast-growing sectors, including biotech, real estate, and finance. Their businesses create thousands of jobs, foster innovation, and bring millions of dollars into the economy. Indian origin Canadians also play a pivotal role in the retail, hospitality, and healthcare industries. If India were to halt this flow of talent and entrepreneurship, Canada's ability to remain competitive on the global stage would take a serious hit. Without the contributions of its diverse diaspora, Canada would find it harder to maintain its reputation as a global innovation hub. Moreover, Indian students are a key part of Canada's educational ecosystem, both culturally and economically. Indian students represent one of the largest international student groups in Canada, contributing significantly to university revenue through tuition fees and living expenses. These students also bring unique perspectives to Canadian classrooms, enriching the cultural landscape and fostering international connections. If Indian students stopped coming to Canada, many educational institutions would face severe financial challenges, and the cultural richness that Indian students provide would be lost. Canada's economic growth has also been fueled by its deepening trade relationship with India. As India emerges as one of the world's largest and fastest-growing economies, Canada stands to gain from this evolving partnership. India is a key market for Canadian exports like resources, technology, and agricultural products. Any disruption in this trade relationship would undermine Canada's economic strategy, slowing down its growth prospects and weakening its position as a trading partner on the world stage. 7. Australia. The power behind education and healthcare. Australia's relationship with India is much more than just business transactions and trade deals. It's an essential thread that ties together two nations' futures. If India were to suddenly stop sending students to Australia, the ripple effect would be felt across the entire nation. Imagine the classrooms of major Australian universities, once bustling with thousands of Indian students eager to learn and contribute to their communities, now empty. These students are not just there for their education. They fuel Australia's economy with their tuition fees and living expenses. In fact, international students in Australia contribute over $40 billion annually, with a significant portion coming from India. The sudden halt of this influx would hit the economy hard, leaving universities scrambling to fill the financial gap. But the influence doesn't stop with education. Indian professionals, particularly in healthcare, form the backbone of Australia's medical system. The Australian healthcare industry relies heavily on Indian-trained doctors, nurses, and medical staff who provide care in rural areas and urban centers alike. Without these professionals, Australia's healthcare system would face a severe shortage of skilled workers, causing wait times to skyrocket and compromising the quality of care patients receive. In many rural regions, Indian medical professionals are often the only available healthcare providers. Without them, access to critical health services would be greatly reduced, putting immense pressure on an already overstretched system. Australian hospitals and medical centers would find themselves scrambling for replacements, and the quality of healthcare that millions depend on would diminish. Moreover, Indian students and professionals bring more than just their work ethic and expertise. They bring diverse perspectives and cultural richness, which enriches the fabric of Australian society. Universities would lose a significant cultural exchange, and healthcare facilities would lose a vital, dedicated workforce. These shifts would not only disrupt industries but could also affect Australia's global reputation as an inclusive, diverse nation. 8. Singapore, a strategic partner in business and trade. Singapore's economic success story is deeply intertwined with India's contributions, making their relationship one of mutual benefit and strategic importance. Imagine Singapore without the vibrancy and expertise of Indian professionals in key sectors like finance, healthcare, and construction. Indian workers are not just a part of the workforce, they are the engine that drives growth. Singapore's finance sector, one of the most competitive in Asia, would lose much of its intellectual capital if India's financial professionals were to suddenly disappear. From top-tier banks to fintech startups, the lack of skilled Indian professionals in accounting, investment banking, and financial consulting would create a talent vacuum, stalling innovation and slowing economic growth. In the tech world, the absence of Indian engineers, software developers, and its specialists would have an even more dramatic impact. Singapore's tech ecosystem, which thrives on innovation and digital transformation, would grind to a halt without the sharp minds from India powering its advancements. Whether it's app development, cybersecurity, or cutting-edge tech solutions, Indian professionals are an integral part of the foundation upon which Singapore's technological landscape is built. The resulting lag in productivity would shake Singapore's reputation as a tech hub and slow down its competitiveness on the global stage. Beyond skilled labor, Indian businesses and investors also play a key role in sustaining Singapore's economy. Indian entrepreneurs and tech innovators are some of the most significant investors in Singapore, pouring capital into startups and established businesses. These investments not only bolster Singapore's position as a leading financial and trade hub, but also create jobs, fostering innovation in industries like biotech, green energy, and e-commerce. Indian investment in real estate, infrastructure, and technology also helps fuel Singapore's rapid growth. Without these financial flows from India, Singapore would struggle to maintain its rapid pace of development and its status as a global business hub. The cultural connection between the two countries is another pivotal factor. Singapore's diverse workforce, with a significant Indian diaspora, plays a critical role in maintaining Singapore's dynamic cultural fabric. Without the contributions of the Indian community, Singapore would lose a vital part of what makes it a thriving multicultural society, one that attracts talent and investment from around the world. In conclusion, these nations rely on India in ways that are often unseen but incredibly impactful. Whether it's providing critical workforce, fueling key industries, or contributing to economic growth, India's influence is vast and irreplaceable. Without India, many of these countries would face immense challenges, proving just how interconnected and dependent the global economy has become. In today's world, no country stands alone, and India's role as a cornerstone for many nations' prosperity cannot be overstated. Let us have your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for joining us. If you found this information enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content about cities and cultures from around the world.